cruiser Moscow is already in the past. Friends, welcome to the channel World Top 1. It's no secret what happened to this cruiser, but still I want to talk about it and remember a little about the history of the creation of this ship. And so the cruiser Moscow was laid down on November 4th, 1976 at the Nikolaev Shipbuilding Plant, 61 Communards, and was launched on July 27th, 1979 under the name Glory. The raising of the naval flag on the ship and the entry of this cruiser into the fleet took place on the 30th of January 1983. June 22nd, 1995, the ship became known as Moscow. Performance and technical characteristics: power plant gas turbine 2 screws, power 4 by 22,500 HP, maximum speed 32 knots, endurance 30 days, crew 510 people, dimensions: tonnage 9,800 tons, gross 11,490 tons, length 186.4 meters, width 20.8 meters, draft 8.4 meters. Weapons: 16 anti-ship missile launchers, 16 P500 Basalt missiles, after modernization 16 P1000 Vulcan missiles, 1x2 130mm AK-130 gun mount, 6 6-barrel 30mm AK-630 gun mounts, 8x8 B204 launchers of the S-300F RIF anti-aircraft missile system, ammunition load of 64 missiles, 2x2 launchers of the OSA MA air defense system, ammunition load of 48 missiles, 2x5 533mm torpedo tubes, 2x12 jet bombers RBU 6000. Helicopter Ka-27. The ship repeatedly served in combat in the Mediterranean Sea, made visits to the ports of the states of the region. In December 1989, he ensured the security of the domestic side at a meeting of the General Secretary of the Communist Party of the USSR, Mikhail Gorbachev, with US President George W. Bush in Malta. In 1990, he returned to the Nikolaev plant for modernization, where he stood for 8.5 years. On May 13th, 1998, he received a flag and a guard's rank from the Guards patrol ship Red Caucasus, being withdrawn from the Black Sea Fleet. In 2003, the cruiser participated in joint exercises with the Pacific Fleet and the Indian Navy Indra. In September 2004, he participated in joint exercises with the Italian Navy IoniX 2004. In early 2008, he was on combat duty in the Mediterranean along with the ships of the Northern Fleet, the aircraft carrier Admiral Kuznetsov of the Fleet of the Soviet Union and its ship group. In early 2009, in the Italian port of Messina, he took part in memorial events dedicated to the centenary of the devastating earthquake on the island of Sicily. In January 2013, the cruiser took part in the largest exercises of the interfleet grouping of the Russian Navy in the Mediterranean Sea. As part of the voyage, more than 13,000 nautical miles, the ship visited the Greek ports of Piraeus and Limassol. July 3rd, 2013, left Sevastopol on a long trip to perform combat training missions in the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. On July 11th, 2013, he completed tasks in the Mediterranean Sea and began the transition to the Atlantic Ocean through the Strait of Gibraltar. From the 13th to the 15th of July 2013, he made a business call to the capital of Portugal, Lisbon. From August 3rd to August 6th, as part of a detachment of ships of the Russian Navy, he paid a friendly visit to Havana, Cuba. From August 12th to August 16th, he visited the port of Corinto in Nicaragua. From August 27th to August 29th, 2013, he visited the Venezuelan port of La Guaira on a business call. September 10th, 2013, passed the Strait of Gibraltar in the opposite direction. On September the 20th, 2013, he headed the grouping of ships of the Russian Navy in the eastern part of the Mediterranean Sea. On November the 16th, 2013, returned to Sevastopol. September the 6th, 2014, went to combat service in the Mediterranean, Indian and Pacific Oceans. In January 2015, the ship returned to Sevastopol, where it underwent dock repairs. May the 14th, 2015, went to combat service in the Mediterranean. On the night of July the 2nd and 3rd, 2 sailors disappeared from the cruiser. The body of one of them was soon found off the coast of Greece. In July, the ship was in the Atlantic Ocean, made calls to Luanda and Malabo. On August the 18th, he returned to Sevastopol. On November the 25th, 2015, he occupied a positional area off the coast of Latakia, provided cover for the aviation group of the Russian aerospace forces in Syria. In 2016, Moskva was replaced in this position by the same type of Varyag. In February 2017, it became known that in 2018, the Moskva would undergo repairs and modernization to the Zvoyozdochka Ship Repair Center in Severodvinsk. In October 2018, a source at the 13th shipyard reported that the company had begun work to restore the cruiser's marching readiness. In January 2020, a shipbuilding industry source told reporters that the cruiser was expected to return to service in the second quarter of this year. According to the official statement of the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation, on April 13, 2022, a fire broke out on board the ship, followed by a detonation of ammunition. The cruiser was badly damaged. But we all know the truth about what happened to him. As they say, the ship went where it was supposed to, since we offer a peaceful sky. Thank you all for watching, and